Hi guys, it's been a hot second since I have hopped on here for a video, but I'm really excited to be back today to talk about some really important stuff, I think, especially for this holiday season. So thanks for tuning in and let's go. I got these growing pains when the storm wind blows. I'm the weather vane. Now I'll leave with what remains. A fix. Okay, so one of the questions that I get asked a lot as a photographer is, how do we print our photos? Should we print our photos? How do we go about making an album? So we're gonna talk a little bit more about why it's important to print your photos or print an album, and how we're gonna do that, and how to do that through specifically the software that I use called Pic-Time. But first, and this is like so important, so you guys, if you have professional photos from a professional photographer, listen up. You should absolutely print those photos, put them in a book, do something, because you probably spent a lot of money hiring that photographer to shoot those photos, and so what good are they doing sitting in your hard drive on your desktop or on your desk or in your actual laptop than having them actually on display in a coffee table album or on your walls in your house? And how do you get the good quality prints to do that? And if you're anything like me as a photographer, I love like printing the photos that make me feel something, or you know, I look at them and I look at my husband as he's looking at me, and it's just like such a magical thing to have on our wall and just like remember. And obviously, like, I can't stay mad at him for that long if your photo is hanging on our wall and we're in love, and yeah. So you guys, you should print your photos. I mean, period. Like, they are meant to be printed, they are meant to be seen by other people, and not just pulled out at every anniversary. Like, have them out. Oh yeah, did I mention it's currently November as I'm shooting this video, but guess what? The holiday season is coming up. So this is also a really great opportunity to gift these images or prints or books, albums, you know, if your parents helped pay for the wedding, whatever it is. Like, this is a great gift to give them this holiday season. And I know a lot of photographers offer deals this time of year, so definitely want to hop on that if your photographer is sending some coupons, which, hello, if you're my client, like, expect that coming in your inbox soon. Here's how you can do it in a very simple, easy way. There's also a lot of tutorials on the actual Pic-Time website that show you how to do it as well, but since we all know we're like kind of challenged when it comes to technology, at least I am, I'm going to walk through every step of the process so you can see how to do it and how to also support your photographer along the way. So let's do it, and I hope that the recording goes well here. Okay guys, so if you are a client and you receive your gallery through Pic-Time, which is the software that a lot of photographers use, then you're gonna get this screen, which is like the initial introduction screen. So you'll just scroll down. I'm sure pretty straightforward so far. Oh, there's a little glitch happening. Okay, cool. So you're gonna get to your photos, and one thing that you'll notice that Kayla did, I don't know if you've already done this or known that you can do this, but you can actually favorite some of your favorite photos, and what it does is it saves it into its own little folder here on Pic-Time. So when you're downloading, if you just want to download your favorites, you can. But today we are talking about prints. So you're here at the gallery screen. Here is the shop screen. So if you go here, let's just click shop. We're gonna click shop and we're just gonna go because we need to see all the options here, right? Okay, cool. So you'll see, before I say this, every photographer offers different things. These are what I offer, and I think this is pretty standard for what a lot of other photographers offer, but just to give you a walkthrough, so you have the lay flat albums. These are really great for like guest book, things if you're ordering engagement photos for your wedding. This is a really great option for that. Greeting cards for the holidays, like, hello, it's November, and this is a really great thing to have if you want to do Christmas cards. Calendars, this is a really great gift for your husband or for an anniversary gift. Just a little something that's fun with all of your wedding photos. gallery board. So this is basically just like a little board here that can have its own frame. So it's just like a little different than a print, but it's more like a board for a specific frame. Magazines, again, these are really great for like coffee tables, or if you just want to have a fun little gift to give someone, that's a great one. And then prints, we're going to go over this one because it's a little more complex and there's a lot to see here. Also, you'll see you can do a print pack. So if you want like a pack of 24 images, a certain size, you can do that. There's frames, there's canvas prints, which are great for hanging on walls or having a big like display at a wedding. And then lastly, we're gonna go over in more detail the fine art albums and what I have set up and what you can expect your photographer to also have. Okay, so to start, let's go with prints. So I'm gonna click that. And it's gonna load. Cool. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna notice is that there's the size of images. So this is really great if you already have like a frame that you chose from like Target or somewhere that you know sells picture frames and you need a specific size for that print. This is a great opportunity to just choose the size you need. Obviously, it'll tell you the price. So this says from 36/47 because it's a bigger photo, and that's what I charge. So this is also like a standard, or the 8x12 is a standard image size. Yeah, so then it has over here your final price, but you can also choose what kind of finish you want or paper type. So a matte is more of like a more like a luxurious type of print, and then fine art is the highest quality. So you can kind of see up here, there's an example. It's like very high quality print. I wouldn't necessarily do fine art if you're gonna frame the photo. I think that might be a little unnecessary, but this is a great option if you're like trying to hand out headshots to people. If you're like an actress and you have portraits, something like that, this would be the option for you. Okay, the other option you can choose is a white border. So if you want to have a little bit of a border around the photo, you can do that. That's free. What I usually recommend is either the semi-gloss or the matte without the white border, because I feel like it might, unless you're going to frame it, then maybe use the white border. But if you're not going to frame it, no border or white border is fine. It's pretty much up to your preference. And then lastly, you choose the photo that you'd like. So you can see down here that you have all of the photos that are in your gallery. So you can just plug it up there and you can see. Now notice when I click that, it has the two photos now. So if I don't want this one, I'll just delete it, remove it, cool. And then it's just keeping me with that one. So you can order multiple at a time. And then you just add to cart. Sweet. And so the cool thing about ordering through the software here is that your photographer actually gets a commission off of that, which is so nice for us as artists because, you know, we created this for you. This is for, you know, this is our gift to you. And so this is just extra helpful for us when you're ordering prints for us, if you care about that. So it's good to know that this also gives your photographer commission because they worked hard on these images, and I'm sure they appreciate it. So that's basically how you do prints. The other cool thing is if you like want to order prints and then continue shopping, you can also do that and add more things to your cart. So let's go down to albums. And this is the one that I think a lot of people might get confused on, which there really isn't much to be confused about, but I totally get it. So we're going to walk through every single step, okay? The cool thing about Pic-Time is it actually can put together like a sample album for you with your photos, and then you can actually go in and fine tune the way you want your album to look. So let's just see what it looks like when I have Pic-Time actually arrange it for me. Yeah, see, so down here you can see all of the spreads, okay? So a spread is 2 pages. So this right here is one spread. So you can see here, I think there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 spreads. If you'd like to add an extra spread, for me, it's an extra $50 because it's an expense for me, and also it's more work for our album creators. And so you can always add more spreads if you'd like to for an extra cost. The other cool thing is what I use as my album creator is Redtree albums, and Redtree, in my personal opinion, is one of my favorites. They have really high quality albums. The colors are very true to how they look digitally, so if that really matters to you, I think Redtree is probably the best option. And so this is the place to really get the album that you're gonna have that's gonna last for years and years and years and will always remain timeless. If you go through any other type of album creator, like, I don't know, Shutterfly or any other cheaper one, you're gonna run into issues where the colors are gonna be off, it's not gonna be the highest quality, and you know, when it comes to this type of work, your wedding photos, I think it's really important to really just keep the quality and standard up with that, because you paid so much money for these beautiful photos. So if you want them to truly stand the test of time and just really keep the colors the way that they're supposed to be, then this is the album that you need to have for either yourself or your parents. Let's go through what this does, okay? If you want more of an intensive look through of what to do here, you can always click this video here. This will give you a step-by-step from Pic-Time on how to create an album, so that's really nice. But since I'm here and I'm walking through this, I'm just gonna give you an overview. Simply choose your size. So 10 by 10 is normally what I do. I feel like it's just big enough and really just gives the right feel to the album. And then you choose your cover. So if you'd like linen, if you'd like the leather-like, so like pleather, which is a little cheaper, or if you'd like it wrapped, that's a really cool option. And my wrapped option is actually through QT albums, and it's very beautiful, but different from these two, which are, or these three, which are bound, so they're a little different. And then what you do is you scroll down, and if you'd like to change the color, you just go to edit and you can choose what color you'd like. So we're currently on leather, and these are all of Redtree albums leather options. So I like antique white or charcoal gray, because gray is less likely to get dirty and you want this to last. And then you can also emboss it. So we're gonna say Kayla and Brett, and it's gonna pop up there, and then you can put their wedding date, like that. Cool, that looks really cool. And then you can choose the color of the font. So I'd like gold, I'm just a fan of gold. Also silver might look really pretty there. Sweet. And then you can change the font. So that one's a little more classic, that looks really nice. That's a little more like sans font. And then that one's like a typewriter font. So for now, let's go to Bodoni. Bodoni? Is that how you say it? Okay, so we selected that. So that's what our cover is gonna look like. Sweet. And now it's time to go to the pages. So what's really cool is if like you don't want this to be your first image, you can actually scroll through. What's really cool is that it kind of already arranged it for me. You can scroll through and you can select it, and then you can change what the spread looks like up here. So if I want it to be like a full page as the first page, that looks cool. Or you could do like a square and have it like a square, and then you can also move it. So that's really fun if you want to just really customize it to the way you like. All right, cool, let's go to the next page. Okay, so there's 2 4x4s here. I'm not like a huge fan of that, so I might switch it up a little. Okay. Okay, so don't fret. If you get to this page here and you're like, oh my gosh, there's only like all of these photo options, I don't know how to get anything else. Go here and select another option. So then you have different variations of a similar option to that. Or you know, it kind of depends on how many photos you'd like on a page. I really love the ones that do this. They kind of go over the fold like that. I think that looks really nice and classic, especially if you're doing like a series of photos. So like, for example, I could have like her in between there. Like that looks really cool, right? So that's a really nice feature. Really, it just kind of takes a lot of playing with. I can't say, you know, it's gonna take like 20 minutes because it might take some people 45 minutes. And you know, this is a wedding album you're spending money on, and I recommend taking your time and really just sitting down and figuring out what you like your images to look like. I love the way that this looks, but you also have to be careful. See how there's an exclamation point? Photo resolution is too low. Yeah, that's because it's kind of, so it's a vertical photo that's trying to be spread out horizontal. So the quality, it might lose quality. Whereas if I chose a horizontal photo, hang on, and I move it, ooh, how pretty. I love that. Ooh, that's so nice. Yeah, so like I said, it just takes a little bit of playing with, but I think there are a lot of options here to really just like customize your album the way you'd like it to look. So definitely play with that. Let's take a look at the wrapped albums real quick because I really love these. They're from QT Albums. They look very, very chic. They actually have like ripped pages here, and so if you really just want like a journalist, I don't know, type of rustic kind of album, this is the one for you. So I highly recommend, and it's just a really nice touch if you want something a little different. Okay, so that's pretty much the gist of going through like how to go through the shop here, what you really need to like know about, you know, organizing the things. You know, again, if you choose a magazine or a lay flat album, it's a very similar process. You just have, you know, you can have Pic-Time create your own album and it'll just do this, and you know, it'll give you an example of what the book is gonna look like. So this is really cool because it looks like a magazine. So you know, if you don't want to have your wedding album out on your coffee table but you'd like to have a magazine out, this is really cool. Or if you have like an editorial shoot or a lifestyle shoot, this would be a really cool option for that. So basically that's the shop. When you're ready to check out, just go to cart. And if you want to save your design for later, you can, and you can always come back. And then this is where you add in your coupons. So if your photographer sent you a coupon code, put it in, you get some discounts. And so basically all you need to know is, I mean, this is my cart. Obviously I am the photographer, so it's not costing me anything, which is nice. But this is basically what you would do. So I hope that's been helpful. Now, real quick, let's talk about price and the pricing of the albums, because I know y'all saw that these fine art albums are not cheap. They range from $500 to $1,000. So let's sit back down and let's chat about why it might be important to really invest in the album here. Okay, so now that we've kind of gone through the ordering process and what that looks like, let's chat about the pricing of albums and why it's worth it to pay more for a higher quality. I know the price tag is scary, and I know that some of you might be looking at that like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I want to spend $600 this Christmas on an album. That's a lot of money. And I totally get it, it is, but hear me out. These albums are meant to last for a very, very long time. And the reason that they are so expensive is because they are actually photographer quality albums. This is the only place that you can order these types of albums. You can't go to redtreealbums.com and try and order it like wholesale that way, because it's only for photographers. Photographers are the only people that can go there and order these albums for you. So the fact that Pic-Time has Redtree albums available for you guys is huge. I mean, that's such a huge opportunity to take advantage of. So if you are a client and your photographer is using this system, I highly, highly recommend trying to order an album through their store, because this is the greatest opportunity you're gonna get to print your album at the highest quality that it should be printed at. I kind of mentioned this before in the screen recording that you guys just saw, but the colors are huge when it comes to printing these albums. If you really want this high quality album to be like the best quality with the same colors that you saw when you first looked through your gallery, and it was just like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely perfect, then these albums are the ones for you. And that's partly why I always say, hey, like, invest in your albums. Your photos are meant to be printed. Your photos are meant to be seen by other people, not just sitting on a hard drive somewhere in a drawer in your office. So take advantage of this opportunity. It's the holiday season. It's time to gift. It's time to start printing and time to arrange your album if you have not done it and you've been married for a couple of years. What a cool gift to give your husband, by the way, on Christmas, or your wife. Like, hey, here's a really nice album, I'm just gonna leave it here for you. Let's watch it, or let's look through our pages and just remember. So special, right? So this Christmas, what are you gonna do? You're gonna order your prints and you're gonna order your albums, because if you don't, your photographer will, I don't know. But if you're my client and you're watching this and you don't order something, do it. Just trust me, do it. That's all we have for today, and I hope that this video has been semi-helpful for you if you just have no idea what to do. And, you know, hopefully you take my encouragement to go forth and print your photos that you have. And yeah, that's it. So stay tuned. I'm really excited to be back on YouTube, and hopefully I have some more videos coming out soon. You'll just have to stick around and see, so make sure to subscribe.
Growing pains when the storm wind blows. I'm the weather vane.
I love you. You're my baby.